I caught my fiancé in bed with my best friend. When I confronted them, they said it was my fault. I still can't believe this happened. I keep replaying it in my head over and over, trying to piece together the events of that day. It feels like a nightmare I can't wake up from. I'm just stunned. It's hard to believe my life has come to this point. But here I am, sitting in my apartment, alone and heartbroken, trying to figure out what to do next. For context, I'm 27 years old, and I've been with my fiancé Tom for almost 5 years. We were the couple everyone envied. People always told us how perfect we were together. We were best friends first, then became partners, and it felt like we were destined to spend our lives together. We were even in the middle of planning our wedding. But now? I can't even look at the ring he gave me without feeling disgusted. Then there's Lucy, my best friend since high school. She and I shared everything, our fears, our dreams, and all the deep, intimate conversations that best friends are supposed to have. We were closer than sisters, and I thought that nothing could come between us. But as it turns out, I was the one who was blind to everything. It all started last weekend. The signs had been there for a while, but I had been too trusting, too oblivious to see them. Tom had been distant for a few weeks, nothing drastic, but I'd noticed. He had stopped texting me as often, stopped calling me throughout the day like he used to. He seemed tired all the time, and he often made excuses to cancel plans we had made. But I didn't want to overthink it. Maybe he was stressed with work. Maybe he just needed some space. And then there was Lucy. She had been texting me less as well, which I thought was strange, but I assumed she was busy with her own life. She and Tom were friendly, but they weren't particularly close. At least that's what I thought. But that weekend, I had this weird feeling, like something was off. I can't explain it, but my gut kept telling me to pay attention, so I decided to stay home that Saturday and have a quiet evening in. I told Tom I was going to stay in and relax while he finished his work project. It was supposed to be a low-key evening. I was planning on watching some Netflix, maybe reading a book, and just enjoying some alone time. Tom had been so busy lately, and I figured it would be nice to have a calm evening. So around 6 p.m., I decided to check in on him. I texted him a simple, casual, "How's the project going? Hope you're having a productive evening." He replied almost instantly, "Doing good, babe. Just wrapping things up. How's your night going?" His reply seemed normal, but the fact that he responded so quickly made me suspicious. He had been taking longer to reply to texts lately, so I thought it was a little odd how quickly he had gotten back to me. I told myself I was overthinking things, so I decided to take a shower. I'd only been in the bathroom for about 15 minutes when I heard Tom's voice from the living room. It was muffled, but I thought I heard him say something like, "All right, I'll see you in a bit." I didn't think much of it until I came out of the bathroom and saw his phone on the coffee table. I don't know why, but I just had to check it. I know it's wrong, but something in me felt like I needed to. I grabbed his phone, unlocked it, he never bothered with a password, and started scrolling. At first, it was just normal stuff. Messages from his parents, his coworkers, some memes he'd sent me earlier that week. But then I came across a message that made my stomach drop. It was from Lucy, my best friend. The text said, "I can't stop thinking about you. I miss you so much." It was followed by a heart emoji. My hands started shaking as I scrolled up, my eyes blurring as I processed what I was seeing. I couldn't believe it. It didn't make sense. I thought I was going crazy, but there it was, proof that something wasn't right. I kept scrolling through the conversation. It was full of messages that made my heart pound in my chest. The texts went back for days, maybe even weeks. "Lucy, can't wait to see you tonight. I've been counting down the days." Tom, "You're driving me crazy. I'm already thinking about what I want to do to you." I felt my blood run cold. I had to stop. I couldn't breathe. I just stared at the phone, unable to process what I was seeing. My fiancé, the man I was about to marry, was cheating on me with my best friend. But it wasn't just the texts that hit me hard. No, it was the photos. There were several intimate pictures exchanged, nothing too explicit, but enough to make it clear that something physical had been going on. There were selfies of Lucy in my favorite dress, the one I had bought for a dinner party we'd had a few months ago. And then there was one picture of Tom, shirtless, taken in the same bed we'd shared for years. I felt like the world was crashing down on me. I didn't know what to do. I felt numb. I didn't confront them immediately. I needed time to process. I wanted to run, but I didn't know where to go. I couldn't think straight. I sat on the couch staring at the phone, trying to breathe, trying to figure out what to do next. My mind raced in circles, but then something in me snapped. I couldn't wait anymore. I had to know. I had to see it for myself. I didn't want to believe it, but I grabbed my coat, my keys, and drove to the apartment I shared with Tom. When I arrived, I parked a little further down the street. I didn't want them to know I was coming. I quietly walked up the stairs to our door, and that's when I heard it. Laughter. It was the sound of Lucy's laugh, the one I knew so well, the one I thought I could always trust. It was muffled at first, but it grew louder as I approached the door. And then I heard Tom's voice. "Yeah, I've been thinking about you all day, too." My heart stopped. I didn't need to hear any more. I pushed open the door, and there they were. Tom, lying on the bed, shirtless, tangled in the sheets with Lucy. They froze. For a moment, neither of them moved. Tom's face was a mix of shock and guilt, while Lucy's face turned red as she pulled the blanket up to cover herself. They both looked at me like I was the one who had interrupted something innocent. I didn't even know what to say. I just stood there, staring at them, unable to form words. My chest was tight. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. Finally, Tom was the first to speak. It's not what you think." "Not what I think," I repeated, my voice shaking with anger. "I just watched you two together. I don't need to think, Tom. I saw it with my own eyes." Lucy, trying to defend herself, spoke up. Look, I'm sorry, okay? But you've been distant lately. Tom was there for me when I needed someone to talk to. We didn't mean for it to happen, but you've been so busy with your work, and we just got closer." I couldn't breathe. "So what, Lucy? You think this is my fault?" I managed to get out. "You think it's my fault that you two betrayed me? That you two ruined everything?" Tom finally spoke, his voice low and full of regret. "It's not just her fault. I let this happen. I got too caught up in things, and I'm sorry." But the words didn't matter anymore. I didn't care what he said. The trust was gone. The love was gone. They were both standing there trying to justify their betrayal, and I realized nothing they said could fix what had been broken. I didn't stay. I grabbed my bag, turned around, and walked out of that apartment like it was a complete stranger's home. I didn't look back. It's been a few days, and I still can't believe what happened. The texts, the photos, the betrayal. I'm hurt, confused, and angry. Tom's been texting me, apologizing, trying to explain himself, but I can't bring myself to respond. I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive him or Lucy for what they did. Now, I'm just sitting here, alone, trying to figure out what comes next. The worst part? The thing that keeps me up at night? They blame me. They genuinely think that if I had been more available, none of this would have happened. But I know the truth, and I'll never be the same again.